song for Cole's wedding.
What song?
I was walking down a one-way street, just looking.
Get the Foxwood going.
I love it.
Alright, kicking off podcast number 4. I'm Jake Vassar, Vice President.
I'm Brandon Scott, President of the League.
And our guest star,
Matthew.
Matthew is a new member this year.
Go Spurs.
Oh. Today we have some toilet bowl predictions on who is going to get last place in the league. I'll go ahead and start us off. My prediction is Jack, and my reason is, I mean, he has a bad team. Obviously, it's not Jack's fault. Mike drafted the team. But Jack is not going to try. With Zach and Holmes, which I'd say are the other two contenders at the moment, you know they're at least going to be picking up waivers and trying their best. With Jack, I mean, I don't think he's touched his lineup, so.
Jack was in the group message for 24 hours.
Less than 24 hours. Not
Okay.
to mention, 12 of that's actually begging me to kick him out.
Now Matt with his prediction.
My prediction
It
is Colin Holmes. Biggest reason is 2 running backs he drafted first, Joe Mixon and Danny Woodhead.
Woodhead.
Ooh, sorry. Those are not dependable at all. And reason number 2, got rid of his first round draft pick after week 2.
AKA
Who does that?
AKA
Come
second
on.
round, so.
He didn't even get hurt. What's the deal with that?
And my Sacco prediction, toilet bowl prediction, is Zach coming off a 66-point week. This is pretty obvious. He has Jordy Nelson, whose value dropped significantly with injury of Aaron Rodgers. Also has a few questionable players starting for him. And lastly, he has Jared Goff leading the way at quarterback. All I'm going to say is yikes.
What's that? This just in. Another Sacco contender, Ethan Wright, has an interesting stat for us.
Thanks, Brandon. Welcome to the land of sadness and despair, where fantasy dreams come to a crashing halt and die. My name's Ethan Wright. I'm here for a few Gametime Greatness Season 7 facts. Noah, this is for you. Going back in the record books, Grant is leading our league in points scored this year, with 165 points on average. He averages 165 points per week. Usually 165 is considered a great game. He has a great game every single week. Now on to points against. Yours truly averages the highest points against per week in this league, with, you guessed it, 165 points per week. That's the same as Grant scores per week. I have to play the best player in the week every week. Just to make this sound even worse, our next highest points against scorer is Jake. He averages 145 points per week. 20 less points than I do. And then there's Noah, currently in first place at the top of Gametime Greatness Season 7, averaging a whopping 107 points scored against him every week. 107. The dude plays last year's Jack and this year's Mike every single week. The dude even gets to play Zach every week. I also like to mention this is a year for the record books. After digging back into our archives here, I've learned that Noah's pace of 107 points per week is our lowest in Gametime Greatness history. And on the other end, my 165 points against per week is the highest in Gametime Greatness history. That's all for this week, folks. Thanks, Brandon. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Ethan. That sadness and despair was almost as bad as your GPA. Anyway, so I'd like to talk about a water bet me and actually Matt had this week. I bet that Brett Huntley would have more points than Derek Carr at the end of this week. But it appears, as the shootout's going on right now, we're not exactly sure how many points he has, but we know it's a lot.
Derek Carr had 21 points in the first half. We'll see. And they're
going.
still playing from behind, so he's going to be throwing a lot.
Now we're going to have a few facts from our guest star, Matt.
All right. My first interesting fact. In points against, Noah has the least with 643. I have the next least with 680, and Jarvis has 702. We were all 3 playoff teams.
Boo.
That's pretty nice.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Yes.
At Colin Holmes.
Next interesting fact. Ethan Wright is making league history in having points scored against him. Currently at 165 points per week scored against him, which is the most of any year so far in Gametime Greatness history.
Matt, you don't have to repeat what Ethan just said in his video.
True.
If only I knew.
I mean, why didn't you listen? He was just on a second ago.
Whatever. Okay, next interesting fact then. Grant, currently killing it. If he played everyone every week, his record would be 55-8, which is insane. He deserves to be in first right now, in my opinion. He probably will be in the final championship.
Jinxed him right there. Yeah,
Sorry, Grant.
He's not even making playoffs.
3 months to his ACL right now.
Oh, that's good for me then. I'll make more predictions like that. Noah received a lot of hate, but he's on an upswing right now. He's currently 5th in points for, and he's actually turning things around.
You know what they say, what goes up must come down.
Hopefully.
Sorry, Noah.
I play him next week, so he's going to lose. So.
Our final fact of the week. Pierce and T.Y. are both wide receiver 2s. So all of you who said, oh, this is such a bad trade, well, I mean, it's really not that bad.
Well, it is.
And in fact, Pierce has outscored T.Y. in 4 out of the 6 weeks so far.
Well, the trader in that bad trade, Colin Holmes, has a shower thought for us.
Thanks, Jake. Here's something to ponder. Why are kickers' field goals from 30 to 39 yards worth 3 points in fantasy, but 33-yard extra points are only worth 1? Back to you.
Thanks, Colin. And now we got some questions for Matt. So we're going to kick it off with the usual question. Who do you want to win the championship this year?
Me.
Besides
Can't
yourself.
be yourself. Who does he hate the least in this league?
Grant.
Ooh.
There you go. We're not rivals.
Collusion!
I don't know why we play. I don't know why we play in
A
rivalry.
roommate.
No rivals.
Alright, Matt. This is a serious question. I believe I know your answer, but do you think you'll win a championship in the next 5 years?
Of course. I'll win all 5 of them.
Oh! Well, I think you just answered my question, but I was going to ask, is there any tension between you and Grant in the household? You know, maybe some jealousy?
I'm pretty jealous of his team. But other than that,
Very
no.
serious answer, folks.
Alright, how do you feel you were as an addition to the league? Do you feel like that was a successful transition?
What improvements can we make next year for bringing in new people?
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
I feel like I fit in well, but I feel like that's more of a question for you guys.
Oh.
We give you the seal of approval.
Alright, I'll take it.
How does it feel to be 4-2? I know a few of your wins have come off Mike and Zach in the past 2 weeks. Zach scoring 66, and Mike definitely, I don't even think he broke 100. Also, the only 2 losses you have with Grant and Jarvis, I think both of them are above you in standings. Or close. I don't know. You've had all blowouts this year, except for the 1-point win against CC.
Barring my long list of injuries this week, or this year, I'm considering myself to be still pretty lucky so far.
Okay.
I'm happy with
You're
4-2.
in 4th or 5th?
I'm in 5th.
Alright, that's pretty good. Still in playoff.
Give it time.
Alright, the classic question, the age-old question. If you could have one league member to lose the rest of their games, who would it be?
Well, this is a really hard one, Noah.
Well,
retweet.
Okay, I think that wraps us
That's
up.
about all.
Alright.
Like and subscribe in the bottom left corner.
Thanks for watching, guys.